are somebody who's very familiar with the national security apparatus of the White House. When you look at this hearing, as Pete explained, this is something that is routine. Obviously, today it has taken on new significance given what has happened over the last 36 hours. What do you think, if anything of substance, we will hear from Andrew McCabe today regarding his new role as acting FBI director? I
think we're going to have to hear new things from Andrew McCabe. He's been a figure.
You think he's got to say something?
He's got to say something. He can fall back onto the answer that, look, I can't get into an investigation. But I think there are things he can say, new elements of the timeline that he can put out. But what I'm mostly looking forward to today is whether any Republicans are going to break with President Trump. Is this going to be a Republican versus Democrat, shirts versus skin on special prosecutor or not? Or do you see Republicans begin to say, hey, listen, we're falling off the train here, and then that will continue to snowball?
Well, let me bring in Heidi and Matt here, because so far most Republicans have hit the White House line.
Yeah, it's been striking, actually. I mean, the leadership in particular, Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, the House Speaker yesterday, were sort of right on the party line. We're only seeing those sort of on the fringes who've been predisposed to be skeptical of President Trump, who've been the hardest on this. The John McCain,
the Lindsey Grahams of the world, right.
But even then, and I thought this was critical, Lindsey Graham, who would be the person most likely to break and take that extra step, did not. We were on set with him yesterday, pressed him on the special prosecutor question. That is one big difference here, Hallie, with, people are drawing all these Watergate comparisons, is that during Watergate, Democrats had actual control in the chambers. Not so this time. And the fact that within that critical 24 hours, Republicans didn't take that extra step, I'm skeptical that many of them will, in terms of special prosecutor.
So we are sitting here watching this hearing on Capitol Hill, looking at the opening statements. We're also looking at what is happening inside the West Wing, Michael, a place that you've spent some time. It's our reporting that some White House staffers, including some key aides, did not actually know about the firing of James Comey until right before or right after they saw it flash across cable news screens. What does that tell you, looking ahead over the next week, 6 months, about how this White House is functioning?
It continues to tell me that they're still sort of trying to right the ship. We had a very strong White House Chief of Staff in Andy Card and later Josh Bolten. President Bush expected a very tight hierarchical structure. I think this is less so. This seems more of an open, fluid situation where people come in and out. And I think over time they're going to learn the benefits of strict process so that when you have a big announcement like this, everything doesn't go awry and your allies don't head for the hills because they don't know what the plan